Hey guys, thank you so much for tuning in today. So today I'm going to make 3 different Toddler meals. We're going to start with a breakfast, a lunch, and a dinner. So for breakfast, we're going to be having, what are we going to have? I didn't forget that quick, y'all. Okay, so for breakfast, we're going to have banana oat pancakes. What I love so much about this is that you can make a whole lot with just a little bit. So don't you dare throw away those ripe bananas. Those ripe bananas are going to make the sweetest pancakes. That's going to prevent you from adding all those extra jellies and syrups to your baby's breakfast and stuff. So first we're going to start off with the bananas, right? Take your 2 ripe bananas. Then we're going to peel them off, chop them up, and put them inside of the blender. Following that, we're going to add our egg. You're only going to need 2 eggs. So for this recipe, I made a little bit over, I would say, 10 mini pancakes. So I used 2 ripe bananas, 2 eggs, blended that together. Then I'm going to add my oat. I did not measure out these oats, you all. But what I did was I took a handful, put my hand out, filled it up with oats, and put it in the blender. And now this is when you can get creative. You can add whatever you like, whatever you want it to taste like. I wish I had some spinach on hand because I would have added some spinach. It would give it a nice cool color. You could call them the hawk pancakes if you have boys who are into those type of, what are those, cartoons? Or what's the hawk, bro? The hawk is a Marvel character. Yes, the Marvel characters. Okay, so you can do that, but let me focus. This is what I did. I used cinnamon and flaxseed. I take that back. I used cinnamon and chia seeds. That is what I added into this pancake mix. And like I mentioned earlier, if I had spinach, I would have did that. So we're gonna take that, we're gonna add it into our blender, blend it all. I'll say about, give it about 15-20 seconds. We don't want it super watery. We don't want it super thick. So just eye it out, you guys. Now I'm going to spray the pan with this coconut and avocado blended spray. I love it. It's like, it pours out like, you know how sometimes those sprays are very, I don't know, shallow? Who knows? I don't know the word. But it just comes out very thick and it really lathers well. So you don't need a whole lot. Anyways, I love it. I love the idea of coconut and avocado oil. Don't know the benefit, but it sounds really, really healthy. So that is what I did. And then you're just going to go for it. You're just going to pour how big or how small you want your pancakes to be. Let them cook about, I'd say, 1.5 to 2 minutes on each side. And there you have it. Some nice, crispy, sweet, because of the ripe bananas, oatmeal banana pancakes or banana oatmeal pancakes. So that is a great, excellent go-to toddler breakfast that you can do. Also, my 7-month-old, he had those and enjoyed them as well. So if you're into baby-led weaning, this will be a perfect recipe for your baby. All right, you guys. Okay, you all, moving right along. Now we're going to get into making some lunch. So I have no idea what to name this because I took some recipes and I just kind of did not do what the recipe said. So I had to improvise. So I'm going to call this a veggie muffin. We're going to make some veggie muffins. So for this recipe, you're going to need some potatoes, zucchini. You can use fresh or frozen carrots and peas, along with your favorite cheese. For this recipe, I use cheddar cheese, and your favorite seasoning, whatever you like to season with. I would suggest a salt-free seasoning because this is for the kids. However, I didn't use salt-free. This is my favorite. Garlic and herb blend. So I'm pretty bummed out because the original video that I took got deleted. So what you see in the background now is my measuring bowl already full of the ingredients, but I'm going to kind of just show you what I did. So I used what is this thing called? I think it's called a grater. We're going to call it a grater. Lord, please let it be called a grater. I use a grater and I took the zucchini, and it's very fun. It's very therapeutic actually. And I grated it on that grater board. And then I took my potatoes and I did not do the same. I was about to say I did the same. I thought about doing that. But instead I boiled those. You're going to grate your zucchini, your cauliflower. You're going to add in your peas and your carrots. I used canned peas and carrots because that's what I had on hand. And I drained that juice out, put it in there. You all, this is the mistake that I made though. Once you grate your zucchini, I strongly advise you to take a cheesecloth or some paper towel and really try to get as much of that water out. Zucchini has a lot of water inside of it, so you want to really squeeze out as much water as you can. Therefore, it won't be a big mushy mess, or it won't be too hard to kind of mend together at the end, whether you're baking it or you're going to fry it or whatever you're going to do to these little veggie things that I created. So now that we have this all together, we're going to add it all into one mixing bowl, including our cheese, including our seasoning. We're just going to mix it all together. So I chose to make muffins. I wanted to do like a fritter, but I couldn't get the consistency quite right. Like I said earlier, I did not stick to the recipe, but this is what I did. I took some cupcake holders, I put those things in there, and I put my oven on 425 degrees, and I put it in the oven for 30 minutes. And you are my picky eater. He loved them, he enjoyed them, he ate all of them. So this is a recipe that I strongly suggest if you have a picky eater, if you're really trying to get some of those vegetables in. I think what makes this so tolerable is because of the seasoning and it smells great. So a lot of us sometimes eat with our senses first, and so visually it doesn't look the best, but I think when your kids start smelling it, it's like, what is this? This smells like McDonald's or something. So it smells amazing. So be mindful that when you're choosing your seasoning. And finally, this is an awesome, easy dinner option. We're going to be making black bean burgers, and I'm going to keep this so simple. Usually I'll cut up onions and peppers and I put it all in there. I may put some jalapenos and some corn, but this is for my toddler, and I already know that he likes black bean burgers. And so what you can do is take your canned beans, you're going to rinse them out and dry them. We're going to add them to a mixing bowl, and then we're going to mash them all together until they're a nice consistency of a burger. Now we're going to take a handful of oats, and your oats is what's going to keep this all together. Take a handful of plain oats, and we're going to add that into the mixing bowl. Now that we have that in the mixing bowl, we're just going to kind of take our hands, or you can use a rubber knife or spoon, and you can mix it all together. So I do have some corn on hand, so just to kind of get everything out of my fridge, I'm just going to use that, and I'm also going to add a little bit of zucchini because I have some of that left, right? So I'm going to add zucchini corn into this mixture and keeping it very simple. And once again, the seasoning that I really enjoy, and that's going to make it smell good. So whatever you season it with is what it's going to taste like. Let me say that again. Whatever you season it with is what it's going to taste like. I like that one better. And so you all put that all together, and now the easy part, we're going to spray down that pan again. We're going to make these mounds of, not mounds, but we're going to make these hamburger patty like shapes, and we're going to just place that in there. So I like to make a whole lot of mini ones, and what I enjoy about all these recipes, you all, is that you can make a whole lot and you can freeze them, you can refrigerate them for the rest of the week. And so here my toddler has breakfast, lunch, and dinner for at least the next 3 days. Of course I can switch it up if I feel like he gets bored with it, but I don't think he will. And so now that the burgers are done, I'm going to just put them on these little Hawaiian roll buns, and there you are. There is a great presentation for your toddler. It doesn't look overwhelming. He's not looking at it like, what is this? Instead, he's looking at this like, this is very interesting looking. I like how small it is. So for my picky eater, I've learned that he likes smaller portions. He doesn't like to be presented with a big chunk of something. He likes things to be broken down. So I think these little black bean burger sliders are the perfect thing for your picky eater, or just for your toddler in general. So you all, we have created breakfast, lunch, and dinner for our toddlers. These are all baby-led, weaning friendly recipes, and I just know for a fact, okay, let me not be over ambitious. I just know, I have a great good feeling that your toddler is going to enjoy this. So if your toddler enjoyed this, please tag me on Instagram at JadaLynnCross and let me know how well it went. If you can, please comment below and let me know which recipe worked the best for you and your toddlers. And until next time, you all, thank you for tuning in, and I look forward to making something else. Maybe I should do toddler snacks, just snacks. Would you be interested in that? Let me know in the comments below.